Morning, guys. So it's Monday, January 13th, 2025. Cheers. I was watching the sun come up this morning. California has the sunsets. We have the sunrises coming up over the ocean. I get sunrise over the senior home down the way. So my little scribbling is actually what I'm going to be starting on today. So I planned the back of the couch to be 30 inches tall. Where you sit down on the front, it was 15, wrong side here. Yeah, so and then I have a this is my back pitch. This is what the back of the couch will do. So I'm going to build 4 wood frames. That'll be the 4 legs that'll be hitting on the floor, the front and rear legs and the back. And then I will span those with some finished lumber on the front and plywood under the cushions so that the cushions are sitting on a full. One of the problems with those futons is there's slots between. They have like boards and there's slots between them. And you lay on them, you can feel every slot. I don't know, if you lay on a cheap futon, you know what I'm talking about. I don't build it cheap. It would have cost me about $2,000 to buy the couch I wanted to be 12 feet long. And it made out of cardboard, yellow pine and material with some remanufactured stuffing where they use old stuffing and refurb it. And that's pretty much what I would end up for $2,000. So this next week is going to be a process. I'm going to build this couch and I'm going to show you. It's not going to be, hour-long videos as usual. I'll just give you updates and take you along for the ride. So this next part is going to be a little bit tricky because I have to cut this at an angle back. So when I put this here, I'm going to be cutting this off. But the thing is, what I cut off I have to put down here. So I have to kind of shoot a line straight up from here to my point. It's kind of hard. I'm gonna have to get a ruler and put on here. Let me show you what I'm saying. So I just taped my ruler to my square here. Now if I can just get this where I want it, gotta make sure that it's flat. Now I'll be able to get my line. I want to leave a little bit of meat up here. But this is the angle of the couch will be leaning back. So let me just mark that. So the problem is I have to cut this with a skill saw, which means I'm going to have to cut both sides. So I'm going to have to carry these lines across and match them on the other side. Then I'll cut that piece off and it'll trim down and fill in where it needs a little bit right down in here. It's really not a whole lot that'll have to fill in, just from here to the plywood. The plywood will be here. This is obviously the front leg. I just have it here to use it for a height guide, because I know that's where my bottom of my plywood's going to be, right there. This is making one, and then when I get this one where it needs to be, I'll make the other 3 using this as a template. So I won't have to go through this again. It's just on this one preliminary, and then I'll be able to lay this right down on top of the other logs and scratch it out, cut them out. But this is the process so far, starting with the legs. You build your foundation before you put the house on it, right? Whew. Not too bad, just got a little line in it. That'll sand out very easily. So I've cut that now at the angle that I needed. That's actually going to be where your back would be against once that board. But it's got to get a little piece added in. I'm going to figure that out now where I'm going to cut this piece at. Let's get adjusted here. You know, the sun hitting the tent, put the brown out, and it actually helps to warm in here. It's not too bad, really. It's warmer in here, it seems, outside. And that's usually the opposite, but that's because the sun rays are penetrating through the tarp, giving me a little bit of warmth anyway. Pen, here's my pen. So now I've got to make this for that little section. We'll just off-step this a little bit. Oh, easy. Right there. So that little bit will get cut off and put on there. The only time I gotta wear glasses now is to protect my eyes. I don't know how it happened, but after 20 years of wearing glasses, all of a sudden I can read again. It's friggin' weird. I wish other parts would make a revival without medication. Alright, so here we are. Seems like that thing's leaning crooked. It's just my imagination. So that'll get glued on right there and finish up that. Now I have to work on slots that are going to go across where the side is going to be a I'm going to cut in enough so that I can embed the wood into it, and that'll give it some strength just by cutting slots, and then the side panels will fit into the wood, glued and screwed. I have a hard time pausing. Oh boy, some long lumber here. Set this down here for now. Whew. So the sides are gonna be this material here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slot so that this is down inside of the 4x4. So I'll cut my slot. Takes a little time to cut it. You got to make a bunch of different cuts and then chisel it out, but I'll cut 1.5 slots into these where I want them, and that's going to give me any forward to backward. Going to limit any of that forward to backwards movement. Oh boy. So just setting this up. I'm going to get my square, my long square out and line these up. Then I'll start cutting my notches. I'm going to make a whole bunch of slots. So I've made about, let me see, 30 cuts. Now I'm going to go in, break it all away, and then I'll take my chisel, clean it up. Firewood. So what that's going to allow me to do is to countersink those boards right in. I didn't glue them, I just clamped them together so I could cut them both at the same time. That kind of ensures that I'm on the same line and make it a little easier. It's going to take a little time to take the chisel, and then I'll have to go in and clean all this out with the chisel. I just sharpened the chisel so it's good and sharp. Be ready to go. I'm gonna make one, see how it's gonna work out, make sure everything is good, and if this one prototype works out well, I'll make 3 more through the week, and I'll be on the way to having my new couch. Gonna say out from Rusty, Rhode Island, guys. Kind of a longer video today, but what the hell. Out from Rusty, Rhode Island.